Some days I miss who I used to be. Some days I miss the joy and the laughter and the happiness I had deep down inside. And then some days I remember how that didn't all matter to the people who I thought mattered to me. Some days I miss the smile that I used to have on my face when certain people lit up the room when I was in it. And then some days I remember that those same people weren't around when I needed them. Some days I miss the people, places, and things that I thought made me who I am. But then I had to remember that it's going to take some time that I got to learn who I am and whose I am. Some days I miss the laughter and the joy from childhood and the smiles on some people's faces. But as I grew older, I realized those smiles was holding back a lot of tears and that they were hiding from a lot of their fears because they didn't want to conquer the pain deep down inside of the unforgiveness and the disloyalty and the trust that they had for so many people who was hurting them deep down inside. Some days I wish I can go back and just sit in my grandma's lap, because that's where I felt safest, in her arms, in her house, just in her presence. Because some days at home were just terrible. Sometimes I miss just being around. Just being around. Then I had to remember the fear and anxiety that I felt just existing in some people's presence. Some days. Just some days I miss some things. But then I come back to reality and see the blessings that would have come from me fighting and breaking generational curses. I come back to reality and see the blessings that come from many, many, many nights on my knees praying, asking for forgiveness, and asking for the way to go when some days I just didn't want to do right. But forgive me for not wanting to do what you have called me to do. Help me to do what you called me to do in my life. And as I continue to walk that road, and it's a lonely one sometimes, I see the blessings that I've already seen in visions and dreams. And I manifest and they unfold right before my eyes. Some days, some nights I miss being with that man, holding me tight, because the day that I had was just terrible. Not wanting to face the fears that I need to face. Then remembering the tears that came from night after night of arguing and fighting. Some days I just miss those days. But I thank God that I am where I am now, because those days have brought a lot of anger, a lot of jealousy, a lot of spite. It brought a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow, a lot of health issues that I tried to cover up with all my might. Some days I just smiled, holding back the tears, fighting those fears, not wanting to get rejected or neglected from anybody else, doing any and everything I had to do to prove myself. I am worthy of your love. I am worthy of your attention. I am worthy of your embrace. Some days I miss those fights. I need to sit back and allow the Lord to fight on my behalf, and allow the people that he has for me and mine to make their way in our lives and show me that I don't have to fight for anything, that they were there regardless of what was going on. Some days I miss. Some days I missed out on the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. But today I'm happy, because I know who I am and whose I am.